got a great session for you for Coach's Corner today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad you're here. So if you don't know me, my name is Kole Finley, and I am the principal owner of Finley RE Coaching and Consulting. And this is our weekly live stream. We do a really quick 30-minute live stream every single week. I see a couple of new faces here. So do me a favor. I always like to do this in the chat, either on in the chat in Zoom, or if you want to leave it in the comments, that would be fantastic. By the way, if you are watching this later and watching the replay, still put things in the comments because I do come back and read those. So tell me, where are you from? Go ahead and put that in the comments. Linda, you're so well trained. You like have it ready before. I love it. I love it. Where is everybody else from? I'm going to keep an eye up here. Oh, good. Hi, Nick. How are you? So good to see you. Love it, love it, love it. Fantastic. Nick, where are you from? Go ahead and tell me in the comments as well, by the way. That's awesome. Hello from Kylene, Fort Cavazos, Texas. Am I saying that right, Mathelda? Almost have it right there. I love it. I love it. Awesome, awesome. Okay, Houston, Texas, fantastic. Toronto, Canada. I love Toronto so well. Ooh, Honolulu, Hawaii. Love, love, love it. Hilton Head, South Carolina. We got people all over. I just love it. I love them when we have everybody just kind of joining us from all over. This is such a cool crew. By the way, if you're new, we call this the Breakthrough Crew. So you're a member of the Breakthrough Crew if you are new here. So excited that you are here. Fantastic. Okay. I want to start off. So we're going to be talking about authentic self-authenticity, AI, same old, all the fun stuff. But I want to take us back just a little bit. So this was right after 9/11. And I don't know if you guys kind of remember back then what an extraordinary time it was. But it was the first time that I actually was exposed to social media. And it was on a site called classmates.com. Does anybody remember classmates.com? Do me a favor, type me in the chat or me in the comments if you remember classmates.com. By the way, Andrea, I do see you, Greater Tulsa, Oklahoma. Love that. Between Milwaukee and Chicago. Sorry, I missed a couple folks there. Mathelda says me. Yeah, absolutely. Do you remember, like some of you guys might be a little too young to remember that. We might even have some people on here who weren't even born at that particular time. So, but Rita, you remember it? Fantastic. Yeah, you know what? It was our first thing. And I remember I was on a thread. And back then it was kind of threads. They didn't have feeds, they had threads. And on a thread, and all of a sudden a couple people started really battling and calling each other names and saying things. And it was like such a shock. It was such a shock. Like, can you believe, we couldn't believe it. Oh my gosh, guys, you were sitting there staring at a screen by yourself in a room, typing on a keyboard. What are you thinking? Now let's fast forward 23 years, 22 and a few months, years. And isn't that kind of the norm? Don't we see that a lot? Do you see that kind of thing? Do we see people kind of fighting all the time on Facebook? We kind of see the way people are. And before we kind of get into all of the authenticity stuff, I actually wanted to go into something that is a little bit more especially politics, Linda, you're absolutely right, especially politics. In the country a bit, says Nick. I love it, absolutely. Okay, so I want to share something, and we're going to just call this personal and professional decorum in the digital age. So you guys tell me, and I'm going to keep an eye on the chat here, you guys tell me if any of this resonates with you. First thing, right now, when people are on social media a lot, us versus them. We have a lot of us versus them mentality, especially in political years, right? Next thing, confirmation bias. Confirmation and bias is when people are always searching things to prove themselves right. Okay, by the way, it's also why we all, Facebook does an amazing job at really feeding into your confirmation bias. They feed you up things that they know you're going to like. And the reason they do that is because they want to keep you on the site so people will buy stuff. So if you're always seeing all your stuff all the time, but every once in a while you see something from the other side and it just really makes you angry, it's one of the reasons why they're feeding you stuff that they know that you're going to like. Okay. How about this one? More likely to respond in an aggressive manner. Have you ever seen people and like you would meet them in person? There's no way they'd ever say something negative like that, but right on that keyboard they do. Okay. Absolutely. How about this cyberbullying? Big thing. Absolutely big thing. Here's one, ghosting. By the way, my biggest pet peeve is ghosting. If you are a professional in this industry, if you've made an appointment with somebody, let's say a lender has asked you out to lunch and you've said yes, and you have agreed, if you can't make it, make sure you communicate. If you can make it, show up on time. It's just one of those things. Make sure ghosting. Don't ghost other people too. If people are expecting you, don't ghost. Now you're allowed to just not, talk to people who are, you don't have anything in common with, they're wanting you to say something, but you had no intention of saying anything. Yeah, I get that. But as far as our business, always be a person of your word. Your word is your bond. It's just my pet peeve. There. Okay. And like and comment addiction. Does anybody really take a look at their likes, their loves, their ha-has, their hugs, their comments on their social media? If you do, type me in the chat. That's me. Type me in the chat if that has a tendency to be you. Oh my gosh. Okay. So here's my question for you guys. What would you like to be known for on your social media? Like, remember, you are always, always, always on, uh, uh, in the public eye. Think about that. Okay. What do you want to be known for? Give me one or two words that you would want to be known for on social media. What do you think? Type it in the comments. Again, I'm looking up because I got my new screen. Did anybody see my picture on my profile? Did you see my new setup? My new computers and stuff like that. Mathilda, you saw it. I love you. Yes, she did. Okay. So that's why I can look up now and I don't have to look way over to the side to see things anymore. Great. Knowledge. Linda wants to be known for knowledge. I love that, Linda. That's fantastic. Mathilda, consistency. Consistent. Absolutely. Who else? Nick, by the way, says a couple comments. Oh, Dee Dee, hi, how are you? Someone who keeps it real about her experiences in real time. By the way, Dee Dee, I so know that's you. You are exactly like that. Nick, love all the differences of us, but hate the hate. Synergy, collaboration, we complete each other. Nick, you crack me up every week, man. Let the compound effect take place. Nick says, I'm 36. It sounds familiar, but don't quite recall what it was for. What are you talking about there, Nick? I'm sorry. Take me back for a second because I don't know what we're talking about there. That's okay. I always want to be known as someone who's real. I just want to be known as someone who's real. That's kind of it, right? So if we take a look at where we're going here, right now more than ever, people are kind of starved for the real deal, right? We are seeing, I mean, how many airbrush people can you see on social media? And then like I should talk, like I filter. Okay, I'm gonna be almost authentic. Is that okay? Just a little bit. Okay, but we really are longing for that. Now we see a sea of constant, just constant same old all the time on social media. By the way, we do that all the time as realtors because we don't understand how to build that authentic self. So I'm going to share with you just some of my thoughts as far as what do we do to really keep it real. The first thing we need to understand is people want to know us, like us, and trust us. People who do business with people they know, like, and trust. Here's how you do that in today's age. So the first thing is they want to see you, your actual face. Okay, now I'm going to ask you this. If you're on social media, how many times do we see your face? Or are you the type of person that posts all sorts of other stuff, but we don't see you? We don't see your face. That's the first question. People want to see your face. How about this? They want to hear your voice. They want to hear your actual voice. Are you doing videos that you post up there? Okay. By the way, before you meet anybody new, let's say that you have a listing appointment. Okay. The people who are going to be wanting to meet with you, they're going to do two things. They're going to Google you and they're going to look you up on Facebook. And that's where they're going to see you. And I've got some ideas on that in just a second. Okay. I want to see your actual face. And then something really important is context. Context. Would what they're reading, could anybody else have written it? Could anybody else have written it? Or is it more like you? Would it sound like you? That's so important. Okay, so let me take a look at, I want to show you something here. Looking at my notes, forgive me. All right, so this is something that happens all the time, by the way, social media. Okay, remember, if we're looking at context, sometimes we forget something as real estate agents, and I really want you guys to understand this and take this to heart, most definitely, is that we speak in Realtor Speak all the time. We speak in Realtor Speak all the time. Well, let me show you what I'm talking about. We will, for example, call some people my buyers or my sellers. Okay, first of all, if I am not in real estate and all I see is a post that said, hey, I want to congratulations to my buyers or my sellers. Most people have no idea what that means. Forgive me, my nose is a little cold. People don't know what that is. So when we are just using my buyers and my sellers, we're actually not creating a personal connection. So using that terminology actually is not your best bet on social media. Here's the next one: listing agent, buyer's agent. Hey, if just call the listing agent. But most people who aren't in our business actually don't know what a listing agent is or a buyer's agent is. Half the time they don't know what agent is. So let's understand that when you're using that terminology, you're actually not necessarily building that rapport. How about this one? The market. Well, if I'm not in real estate, I may not know what the market is. Okay. That's hard. How about this one? Off market. Something is off market. Call me for any off market deals. I don't know what that is. By the way, how about the location? Call me for any off market deals, but your post says nothing about where the location is. Why does that matter to me? What is that? Okay. New listing or my listing? I've got a new listing. What's a listing? Oh, it's my listing. By the way, we do that all the time. I am so happy that I was able to get my listing sold. Okay. Absolutely. I love that, Nick. Thank you so much. Excellent points. You can't always get what you want. Resilience, Howard. Absolutely. Okay. How about this one? Showing. Active. Houses. I've got an active listing. If you want a showing of this house, what does that mean? Square feet, SQFT. No one knows what that means. How about this? Price reduction. Pending. People don't know a pending. We speak that all the time. Pending, under contract. People know what that means. Closed. A house closed. What, the front door? What is it? Closed? Affordable rates. I'm so happy oh, please. I'm so happy They don't care about you. It's about them. I'm so happy and I'll show you a couple examples of that. Okay. Move in ready. What does that mean? Move up, move down buyer. Whew. 55 plus community. Buy down. HELOC. What do you guys think about this list? It's interesting, isn't it? It's like we think that we are, speaking so right. Okay. Mathelda says, I really don't like to be in front of the camera a lot. Progress. Okay. By the way, the first thing is to admit that you have a problem. It's the first step, Mathelda. I'm so proud of you. You've got that. Okay. Guilty. Absolutely. Here's the thing, is that we need to be very careful of who we're speaking to and how we're speaking to them. So important that we are able to do that. So I actually am going to show you a couple things. First thing I want to do is I took a run at a Chat-GPT prompt. Right now, everybody and their mother in real estate is using Chat-GPT. You guys know I have several classes that I've taught on this. You guys know I'm a lover of Chat-GPT, but I want to show you something very interesting. And this is really some language that I've seen people normally prompt. So for example, let's have an idea that there was a house that was supposed to, it was under contract, came off, coming back on the market. Okay. So this is a typical prompt that I've seen people using ChatGPT. Please write me a short social media post about a property that just came back on the market and just had a huge price reduction and how buyers should jump on it because interest rates are coming down. Okay, now we think that would be okay, but let's take a look at it. How does this relate from a personal standpoint? Exciting news for home buyers. Okay. Home buyers where? Okay. We don't have a place for it. A stunning property just made a grand re-entry onto the market and it's better than ever with a significant price reduction. What does that mean? Was the purchase price lowered? Was the price lowered? This is the opportunity you've been waiting for. With interest rates on the decline, there's never been better time to make your dream home a reality. Does anybody feel like this is fairly generic? Is people have you guys seen this type of post before? If you have, say me in the chat. You have seen this, say me in the chat. That would be great. Okay, yep, me, got it. So what I ended up doing is I kind of did a couple different prompts on it, but let me show what I'll show you my prompts first of all. This sounds very salesy and impersonal. I want to make sure I'm not that. Can you rewrite it so it is very friendly, as if I'm speaking rather than writing? I want it to tell a bit about the story. The home is in the mountains in Kalispell, Montana. It's an entertainer's dream house. The home has been sold, but the buyers backed out. Okay, I give it a little bit. Okay, and it still wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. Guess what? That gorgeous home nestled in the mountain, like nestled, entertainer's dream. It just wasn't speaking like I speak. It wasn't speaking like I speak. So I gave it another prompt. And I said, can you try again? This time the language, keep the language simple and conversational. You use uncommon words like backdrop, canvas, and whispering. Those aren't words that I would necessarily use in common language. So now take a look at what it came up with when I asked it. I gave it a voice, a real live voice. Hey friends, you won't believe this beautiful house up in the mountains of Kalispell, Montana. It's back. Imagine a place where every get-together feels just right, with plenty of room for everyone and views that make you stop and stare. So here's the scoop. Someone was about to make it theirs, but things didn't pan out. No one's fault. It's just how things happen sometimes. And now it's available again. And guess what? It's even more of a steal than before. With interest rates going down, it's like everything's coming together at the right time. Can you see how this is so much different than the average listing that you will have on Facebook? Let me tell you, this is what I see all the time. Agents, they post their listing and they it looks just like a flyer most of the time. Okay. And they don't give enough context, but they're also not speaking to someone. They're not speaking to someone. They're putting stuff out there. Is this making sense for everybody? Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of examples. By the way, I'm going to share some. These are just agents. This is not any criticism of these agents at all. This is only my opinion. Just giving you what my opinion is as just a general reader. But I just want to give you guys, so give a lot of grace to the people I'm going to show. And if you know them, love them, tell them I love them too. This is not personal. Okay, so here's one. Okay, this beauty went active today. What does went active mean? I have no idea. Who do you know looking in Riverview? Where's Riverview? Is it a state? Is it a place that you're standing? Where is that? Okay. And by the way, pictures. Now you can see he's forwarded his listing. Let's take a look at a couple of things here. A lot of emojis. Get ready to fall in love with this stunning property. Now we know at least where it is. 412,000. What does that mean? 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2-car garage. Okay, some of these things are there, but Are you telling me the story? Do you see a story? Could this come from anybody? How many agents do you think you could see with this same type of post? Let's take a look at another one. Here's Jay. Does that look like looks like flyer, right? I'm so glad I was able to find the buyer for my listing. Buyer and seller, and both the seller and the buyer have been great to work with. I cannot be more thankful for both of them. Who's the subject line in that sentence? Is it about the people? Okay, I don't know who this is. His comes up in my feed. I have no idea who you are. And all of I see is 169 pending. I don't necessarily know what that means. Okay, this isn't authentic is what I'm saying. I'm sure this is an amazing person. He's an amazing agent. I'm sure all that's there. It's just the way we can look at it. Let's take another look. Okay, limitless listing. What does that mean? I have no idea what that means. Okay, 5, 2.5. If I can't see emojis real well, I don't know what that means. 251 square feet, SQFT. If I don't know what that thing means. Plantation shutters throughout. Okay. Few things, 9 foot plus ceilings. Okay. And again, pictures. Where's the story? I want to know what that story is. Okay. So what we're really trying to do is relate to people. This is in any communication you have with anyone. It is all about relating to people. Now, I'm going to be putting up in the Facebook group. I didn't have time to do it in this particular class, but I've got something called world-class communication. For any of you guys who are in our 12 Weeks to Breakthrough program, it's actually one of our lessons in there. So I think it'll be a nice reminder. But it really is all about how do you communicate with people that it makes them really feel comfortable and have a lot of confidence that you're dealing with them. One of the first things to do is be very, very, very authentic. Don't send things out that look like anybody could have written them or Chat-GPT could have written it. All right. So by the way, I want to show you something about when you're dealing with a client. So let's say you've got a listing. Let's move away from social media for just a second. I will come back to it. But let's say that you've got a listing. One of the biggest mistakes that most agents make is that they've gotten the call, they set an appointment, they show up, and that's it. Okay. What we want to do is we want to do the rule of 7. And what you're doing is you have 7 touches. You may want to take notes on this one, but 7 touches to where you are really creating rapport. So let's take a look at what those are. First of all, remember, people need to hear you. So the initial phone call. Hopefully you actually have a checklist that you're going through and asking questions. If they say, I want you to list my house, you say, great, when can I come by? And you haven't talked to them at all and asked about them, they want to be heard before anything else. So make sure you've got a checklist that you're going through for that listing. Okay, here's the next thing. All right, now you've gone through everything, you've made the appointment. Before you even go on the appointment, we need you to have them see you and hear you. Well, how do we do that? Great. We prepare an intro video that could be in text or email or both. I would suggest both. It's a very quick text message. You do a video text. And if you ever want to know how to do that, just ask me. We can do it. I can show you real quick if you want, but basically just doing that text, or you can even have a landing page with a video that's very particular to them. If you've got that extra oomph, sometimes having just a landing page just for them is a really great touch. Next one, see and hear again. You're going to do a pre-appointment. So this is right before, it's the day of basically that appointment. You want to send a video text and an appointment confirmation. Okay. So again, seeing and hearing. See how many times people are seeing and hearing you. The next one, in person. Obviously, you are going to be doing the listing appointment and the buyer consultation. You're doing it in person. If you have to do it on Zoom, make sure they can see your face really well and do not blur your background. One of the most challenging things. You guys ever seen someone who blurs their background and then it keeps bleeding out? It's very distracting. Just make sure that your background is just cleaned up. Okay. Next thing is send a thank you note immediately after the listing appointment. That means when you get in your car, don't start the engine. Pull out the card in the note, write the note, always have cards with stamps already on the envelopes. Then you won't forget, write the thank you note, something personal that happened during the meeting. Just mention something so it'll be memorable when they open up the note. Go ahead and get that note in the mail before you go home. Before you do anything else, before you end your day, that note goes in the mail because they're going to get it within 2 days. And then after that, how about this? Do a follow-up. That's a text or an email. It is a recap. So what you do, you send an email and perhaps a text that says, these are all the things that we talked about. So now you have communicated at a very high level. They know what's coming. And then finally, see and hear you. If you have a team, your team would also include your lender, your home inspector, your title rep, the people that you normally work with. You could have an intro video for all those people. Absolutely. Or you could ask each of them to do a real quick snippet of who they are. You can put it all together in a video and send them that. Does that make sense so far? Are we getting that? If it makes sense, do me a favor, say makes sense in the chat for me, or if you're in the comments, would you please do that? Okay. So Nick, you're so wonderful. So Nick says, you may want to take notes on this. You crack me up too. Anyone on your video should be ready to take notes always. I love that. Thank you. You want Nick, I'm just going to hire you to come and chat all the time. Linda says makes sense. Rita says makes sense. Absolutely. That really is, it's that above and beyond. Now think about what you've done. You are really, people are seeing you a lot. You're creating connection. The more they see you. Now think about this. You're going up against another agent for this listing and they see you like that and they see how you over communicate and you've got this other person and they don't, are you winning the day? Yes, you are. Okay, so I want to talk to you about something called gives. And this is really a way to start thinking about how you put stuff on your social media. Okay, so here's what it stands for. The G in give stands for gratitude and celebration. I'm going to give you examples of all of these in just a second, by the way. I stands for insights, intel, items of value. V stands for vulnerability. Show your vulnerability. I've got a really good one for you on that today. Oh my goodness. Next one, emotion. Show your emotion. Again, this is your authentic self, you being you. You're allowed to be you, all flawed, all everything. Now, it doesn't mean you're showing your emotion and getting angry at everybody all the time, but certainly there's a way to just show emotion, right? And then be social. Let's put the social back in social media. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to give you some examples of all of these things. So let me just share over here. 2 seconds. By the way, and I forgot to show you guys this, so I'm going to show you this one. This is a post from Lisa McGregor. So she's actually a brokerage owner. She also has a big team. But I want to show you something, how she did something. Sold by Synergy did it again. I like that. But look what she said. I want you to see how this relates on a human level. This is a very special post for me personally. I wanted to say huge congratulations for Sam for buying an amazing off-market, and she did say off-market, a townhouse that was fully furnished and was a one-owner property. This will be a second home. So she's kind of really talking about it. And she says, thanks to Stephanie, Sam's mom, Denise, Sam's grandparents, everybody and their mother, and a huge part of this process for introducing me to Sam several years ago. Thank you all for allowing me to be your team. Do you see how she's talking about him? Do you see how that's not average? Isn't that fascinating? Okay. So let's get into some of the example of gives. Like I said, the G in gives stands for gratitude and celebration. This is just, I'm going to show you some of my posts. So this was wonderful, Linda, because I love her so much. Hi, Linda. So just grateful for her. She's an amazing client, but she's so extraordinary in our industry. She has been kind of a stalwart, amazing person. You see her a lot on these things. By the way, she's one of the OGs in our group. But so Linda, so this is a gratitude or a celebration. Those might be celebration posts. The one that we just saw from Lisa is also a celebration post. Okay, the next one, insights, intel, items of value. So here's one. This is a video that I did. It's one of our videos, okay? And you're going to notice it's got good stuff in there. And it's very easy to read. You get the high notes inside of that. You might have an item value of a guide that you wrote or ChatGPT helped you write, which is all good, right? You might have a graphic that really has some very strong information about a particular area. And in your post, you're talking about a particular area. So insights, intel, and items of value, you always want to include those in your social media. All right, here's one. This was today. Okay, so if anyone is on my email list and you got my email like day before yesterday, and then you got the one that fixed the one from day before yesterday, I really should not be allowed to send my own stuff out. I really should not be allowed to. So this is me. I'm a dork. I'm the worst proofreader of my own stuff. Invariably, if I send out an email or post something, there's usually some kind of typo, grammatical error, or silly mistake. My team just shakes their heads and pities me. If you've been subject to my misgivings. Now, by the way, I posted that, and then about 10 minutes later, somebody said, Kole, private messaged me, Kole, you had something wrong. So I had it up then for a few hours, then someone else, and she actually posted in here. She said, if. So I go back, the word if, I just said you. Okay. So I'm very flawed when it comes to this stuff. So I apologize to everybody if you get in advance, but that's an idea of vulnerability. You're allowed to be a dork. Just saying. The next one is emotion. If you guys have probably seen my my Facebook page. So this is my profile. At the pinned at the top, I've kind of got a little bit of my story so people know who I am. And I think it's important that people know who you are. Don't be afraid to tell your story. You know, some of it's ugly. I got some ugly in there, and it's okay. And finally, so Amanda made my day. So this is Amanda, one of my clients, and she just decided to do this a couple days ago, and I'm like, "Are you serious?" So she took my post, and then she simply wrote something wonderful. But she was being very social, and that went. A ton of people saw that, and it was really exciting. So that made me feel so happy. So happy. Okay, are we kind of getting all this, guys? Is this making sense? Tell me if you are what's a take like first of all, what is one of your biggest takeaways right now? What do you think that would be? Type it in the chat. What's one thing, one actionable thing that you can do after watching this today? Give me one actionable thing that you can do. It's not about me, it's about them. Nice, Linda. Absolutely. It's not about me, it's about them. What else, guys? What else? 7 touches, Rita. Absolutely. Absolutely. It always comes back to the basics. Yep, that's what Nick says. Absolutely. It does too, right? Can you put give slide back up? You know I can. Thank you for asking. Here you go. If you want to take a picture of that, please do. Go right ahead. I'm going to leave that up. Yeah. Gratitude, celebration, insights, intel, items of value, vulnerability, emotion, and social posts. Cool stuff, huh? Cool stuff. Has everybody gotten this? Feeling good? Give me a thumbs up if it feels good. Got it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Awesome. Okay. So, you know, one thing I love to do, guys, I love to show up here every week, give you guys some content, have some fun. I love some of you guys on here. Absolutely. You work with me, you're my clients, all that kind of stuff. If you have never really kind of talked to a professional coach or trainer about your business, or you really wanted just a little bit of insight, I'm going to go ahead and offer this to you. So for everybody who is watching today, either live or on the replay, okay, absolutely, we can schedule a quick 15-minute consultation. We could talk about your business, your goals, and maybe even if coaching or training program is right for you. I love that. It's my favorite thing I get to do every week is to talk to new people about that. Love, love, love it. I know several of you guys here have done that in the past, so that's fantastic. If you want to do that, here's all you do. Scan this QR code. I'll leave that up here for just a second. That's going to take you to my calendar. Find a time that works great for you. You and I can sit down. We can talk about your business, your goals, and all stuff about you and see if there's a way that I can help you. So go ahead and you can scan that if you would like. We're good. I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm taking it down. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I always love when you're here. I love it when you play all out. I love it that you are taking part. Just to let you know, I will be teaching a class next week for another company. So I actually will not be on live on Coach's Corner. We will pick it up the following week, but I will be posting a video inside of the group. So it will be there. I'm going to post it at our normal time. So if you want to go in at our normal 11 a.m. Pacific, 11, 12, 1, and 2. If you go across the country, 2 p.m. Eastern, you can come on and you can watch that video. I'll have it set up in advance. So you'll have some good stuff. All right, again, thank you guys so much. I always love you. You're amazing. I will see you a week after next. I'll talk to you later.